Good morning, everybody. My name is Patrick Kelly. I'm a professor of zoology and coordinator of the Endangered Species Recovery Program here at California State University, Stanislaus. I'm pleased to welcome you to Turlock here in California. On behalf of the university and the local community, on behalf of the local organizing committee and the scientific committee for the 5th World Lagomorph Conference. I'm going to have very little to say right now because we have a number of speakers and some of them will have very little to say too. But briefly, I want to ask how many of you is this your first World Lagomorph Conference? Okay, nice show of hands there. Welcome to your first World Lagomorph Conference, neophytes. Okay, how many of you is it your second World Lagomorph Conference? Good show of hands. How about your third World Lagomorph Conference? Numbers are getting smaller. How about your fourth World Lagomorph Conference? Still getting smaller. Okay, and for the grand prize, how many of you have been to this will be your 5th World Lagomorph Conference? Wow. Brian Cook from Australia, Andrew Smith from the United States.
You have to be really old.
Yeah, really old. Okay, so welcome you all again. So I'm just going to hand off the reins right now to a series of distinguished speakers. First, I want to hand off to Dr. Mark Robner, Interim Dean of the College of Science and a big supporter of this conference.
Well, welcome to our campus. On behalf of the College of Science, I'd like to welcome everybody and hope you enjoy your stay on our beautiful campus. I've been involved with rabbits for about the last 35 years of my life. Domestic rabbits, not wild ones. But when I first came to this campus, Dan Williams, then the director of the Endangered Species Recovery Program, got a hold of me, and probably within the first year of being on here, he handed me this document. It was the Riparian Brush Rabbit Recovery Plan, and asked me to be one of the reviewers. And it's that effort that makes our campus the reason why we should hold that conference here. It's always a sad day when a program kind of dwindles down to nothing, but when it dwindles down to nothing because you're successful, that's a good, gold star for that program. So that rabbit has been brought back from near extinction because of the efforts of the Endangered Species Recovery Program. So I was happy to be a part of that program. And again, I want to welcome you to campus. If there's anything that you need while you're here, let us know, and we'll do the best to accommodate you. But I'm looking forward to a very eventful 3 days with lots of good meetings. With that, I would like to introduce our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. James Strong. We'd like to welcome you as well.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome to California State University, Stanislaus. We're extremely pleased to have you here. This is the first international conference that the university has hosted, so this is a big event for us, and we're thrilled that you're here. Mark tells me there's 23 countries represented. That's tremendous. We hope you enjoy the conference and our beautiful campus. California State University was founded in 1960 with our first graduating class in 1964. So we're a relatively young institution as in the lifespan of institutions. So again, this is a big event for us, and we certainly are glad that you're here, and we hope you have a great event. California State University Stanislaus has 9285 head count as of last fall, so we're one of the smaller CSUs, so we have the benefit of a close feel and a smaller scale, and take some time to walk around the campus and enjoy it. So again, we're glad you're here. I'd like to introduce our new president, Ellen John, who will make some welcoming remarks. President John.
Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled and excited to be here with you today. I am, as Jim says, the brand new president here at California State University Stanislaus as of July 1st. And so it's been a fantastic, few weeks here as the new president, and want to let you know how exciting it is that you are here to celebrate the Lagomorph Conference with us here in the United States. I understand that the majority of you are from outside the United States. So just out of curiosity, how many of you are not from the United States? The vast majority? Yes. So welcome very much. We're very pleased that this conference is happening here, the 5th annual one here in the United States. And I understand that worldwide there are 92 species of rabbits, and there are about 8 in the United States, and we have 3 in this region. So we're particularly gratified for the research that you're doing. How many of you are biologists? Virtually everyone. Is anyone here not a biologist? Several, 3 or 4 of you. Very good. Well, I want to say I have special affinity for the work that you do because my PhD is actually in cognitive developmental psychology, but I started off as all things biology. Started in microbiology, biochemistry, and then moved to cognitive developmental psychology. So very much appreciate the empirical work that you do that is in the service of larger important scientific issues. So thank you for being here. And I just wanted to bring your attention to, I think all of you have received this particular volume. So this is the proceedings for the 5th World Lagomorph Conference, and this is the species that many of our faculty are engaged with here on campus as well. So let me just say, on behalf of the university, we're very excited that you're here. We know that many of you have traveled many far distances to get to Stanislaus, and as Jim said, it is a beautiful campus. We are one of 23 campuses in the entire CSU system. We're the largest system of its kind, probably in the United States, with over 470,000 students. And as Jim mentioned, our campus has about 9,000 students here. And I hope you will have a chance to do a little bit of a tour of the campus. It is very physically beautiful. I believe there were about 4 presidents ago who designed the landscaping, and so you'll note there's quite a few water features on our campus, which make it especially beautiful here in the Central Valley. And I hope that you will have a chance to see for yourself not just the campus. I hope that some of you might have a chance to view some of the other tourist areas around this area. How many of you are going to do some trips, side trips? Anyone? A few of you, good, because we have places like Yosemite and other important national parks that you should be able to take a look at and be part of. Furthermore, I wanted to let you know that here in the Central Valley, we are bordered by a small coastal range to the west, to the Pacific Ocean beyond, and by the magnificent Sierra Nevada to the east. So between those ranges lies one of the largest and greatest agricultural regions of the entire United States. We have very fertile fields, orchards, and grazing lands, and so you are actually right now sitting in the heart of the nation's agricultural hub. This hub then produces more than 360 different products, and our region is the sole producer of many fruits, vegetables, nuts, and more than 20% of the nation's dairy products that start from milk are produced here. The diversity of our agriculture also mirrors the diversity of our population, our demographics. And so the Central Valley is filled with many small towns, originally settled about 100 years ago by an array of immigrant groups. And these towns have welcomed newcomers, and you'll find reverence for the heritage that many of them have who've set their roots down here. For example, we have a strong Assyrian population right here in Turlock. 5 miles from here, the town of Hilmar has a very strong Portuguese population, and the town of Ripon, 20 miles to our north, maintains a strong Dutch presence. So those who arrived more recently include the Filipinos, the Sikhs, and the Hmong. So throughout the Central Valley cities, you'll find a large Hispanic population, and if you walk into any small town or bakery in Central Valley, you'll likely hear another language other than English being spoken, and so you will feel especially welcomed. So I mention all of this because the Central Valley has an amazing set of diversity, both in our people and the products that we produce, and that's the force that makes the Central Valley of California so great. What we do here at the university is we accept this challenge, and we want to make sure that our diverse student population also receives the highest quality, affordable, excellent education here at the university. So I know, as I said, that at the end of this conference, many of you will be exploring the Central Valley region and beyond, and hopefully you'll be taking some side trips to Yosemite, into the Sierra, or maybe even going to Monterey Bay, the aquarium, or perhaps even San Francisco. Wherever you're going, follow your own trails, explore our region, and they're all relatively easy drives from the campus. And I encourage you to stop, smell the fields, and yes, even our dairies, and experience our region's grand diversity. So you're here to work and to share ideas, so I hope all of you find this 5th World Lagomorph Conference extremely rewarding, and I can say with great confidence that the Stanislaus State community is extremely honored to have all of you here with us today. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. John, for those lovely comments. If I might add one little bit about the very nice comments she made about the campus. All those water features mean biodiversity is pretty high on this campus. There's lots of bird life. And if you're walking around at night, you might see a gray fox. We have gray foxes nesting on campus. They're highly arboreal. They climb trees, they'll climb into the attics of buildings. So watch out for gray foxes. They're really neat creatures. They're the native gray fox to California, along with the kit fox. And up to 10 and 15 years ago, we had 2 species of lagomorphs on campus. We had black-tailed jackrabbits and desert cottontails. But with the growth of Turlock and suburbia, I haven't seen either of them on campus in the last 10 years. But I literally saw black-tailed jackrabbits at the Faculty Development Center about 10 years ago. So who knows, maybe they'll show up for the barbecue. Not in the barbecue, but at the barbecue. All right, it is my pleasure now to introduce Dr. Paulo Alves, President of the World Lagomorph Society.
So, hello everyone. As you can imagine, this is a very special moment for me. First, because this is also a university date. It's the 10 years of the anniversary of the World Lagomorph Society. The society was established in 2006, 2 years after the second World Lagomorph Conference in 2004, and 29 years after the first one that was held in 1979 in Canada. So this means that there was a huge lag between these 2 conferences. And as Andrew was saying, so only 2 people were here, and you have to be old to be on the all five conferences. So this means that when my great friend and brother Klaus and I, we were in Vienna planning to organize a meeting on Lagomorph, we realized that the first Lagomorph, and the unique one, Lagomorph Conference, was 25 years ago. And we decided we have to do something. Let's do it, and we have done this in Portugal. Portugal, as you know, is a small country, but we like to be friendly, and we end up having a very nice conference. A lot of people that are still here have been in Portugal, and I would say, even I have to be modest because I was organizing, but I think it was a great conference. And this conference inspired us, and this was the key point, inspired us. And Luis was telling me this, and other people was telling me this, that inspired us that we have to do something. And it's why Klaus and I decided in Vienna, celebrating with a port wine, this Portuguese famous wine, we established a society. And our main goal of the society is just promoting these meetings, is promoting the cooperation among Lagomorph researchers. Just try to bring more young people, young researchers, but also managers, try to put everybody together, just to, in a way that the information, the scientific information is flew from more scientific and cutting-edge studies to more applied, because we are talking about species that are really important on our ecosystems. They are on the basis of our ecosystem, so a lot of species are depending on lagomorphs. So because of that, I really would like to thank the California State University for hosting this meeting, for hosting us, the society, and of course this also with the straight collaboration with the Lagomorph Specialist Group chaired by Andrew Smith. So we are very happy to be here, and hopefully we will start dreaming for the next meeting already. So, and during this week we have a lot of things to do. I hope that everybody enjoy this atmosphere. One of the characteristics of these meetings, we should have as high scientific level as high cultural and fun. So please also have fun and enjoy the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Paolo. Okay, and the last speaker in the list here, I'd like to introduce Dr. Andrew Smith of the IUCN Lagomorph Specialist Group.
So welcome, Dr. June, and everybody that's a lagomorphist. A lot of people don't really understand IUCN, which is really easy, and maybe less the Species Survival Commission. So just a couple quick words. IUCN is probably the world's largest union, truly a union of members of, if it didn't exist, it would have to be reinvented, of all the conservation organizations in the world, including governments down to NGOs. And they have an interesting part of IUCN, which is called the commissions. And there are about 5 or 6: an education commission, ecosystems, law commission, protected areas. And the largest is the Species Survival Commission. And then under that umbrella are specialist groups. And so most of them are taxon oriented, and our taxon is lagomorphs. And I, since 1991, have been chair of the Lagomorph Specialist Group. Now, what's very interesting is that we actually do work in terms of endangered species work, especially the promoting the red list of endangered species. And actually the red list of endangered species done by us for lagomorphs and within the SSC is actually probably the most visible product of IUCN overall worldwide. And I'm actually in the process of putting together a final listing of red listing of all of our lagomorph species, which has to be completed fairly soon. I'll be happy to talk to any of you that has information during the course of this meeting, whether you're in the Lagomorph Specialist Group or not. And the other thing about the Lagomorph Specialist Group and the SSC is that we're all volunteers. Nobody gets paid anything, including the president of the Species Survival Commission. And we all get fired on the 1st of September. Because we're a volunteer commission, when the gavel strikes at the new World Conservation Congress, which is being held by IUCN in Hawaii this year, all the commissions get eliminated. And so then chairs get reappointed, and then chairs actually reappoint people to be in their specialist group. So if any of you have a particular prevailing interest, I largely deal with red listing and endangered species, but we also have people that are dealing with sustainable yield, disease issues, and overabundance. We have our Australians here of rabbits. And so if you have a special interest in lagomorphs and want, in the eventuality that, who knows, I don't know if I'll get reappointed or not. I don't even know who's the new chair is going to be because they have term limits. So Elizabeth Bennett and Jean-Paul Rodriguez are running for chair of the SSC. We don't know how quite they're going to manage things. So come talk to me during the course of the conference. There are many of you who are members of the SSC Lagomorph Specialist Group that are here. Before I finish, I actually want to do a shout out to one of our members in particular who made a choice to come here instead of someplace else. And that would be Professor Li Weidong, sit back there. Li Weidong, for actually the second year in a row, has been chosen as one of the top 10 conservationists in China by the central government. And he's missing his award ceremony to be here. And if you don't know who Li Weidong is, that you know his pictures. This is from National Geographic magazine in April. This is the very first living Ely pica that had been seen in 20 years. It ran across his foot. He took a picture of it and became world famous. And so you have a chance to meet and talk to Professor Weidong later in the meeting. So anyway, welcome everybody here. Come talk to me in the course of the meeting, and I'm looking forward to the program as it goes forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, a few very brief comments before we move on to the academic program. A few important items here. Before I talk about those, your proceedings volume. Those of you who have been to previous WLC meetings, proceedings volume is a little different this time. We wanted to make it a document that you can really use during the conference. It's spiral bound so you can flip it around. The abstracts follow the program. The oral abstracts follow the program sequentially. So you can, and they're full-size pages, so you can write on every abstract. And there's lots of room to write on every one. Also, the posters are numbered sequentially, and that's how we would like you to put them out upstairs. Each there's a little card on each poster board where you're going to display your poster. We've got staff and volunteers up there setting out the little markers for you right now. So if you get them up sometime today, the formal poster session isn't until Thursday. See, you've got time. There's plenty of time for that. Then there's a few of these other items that need to be taken care of. Please turn off or silence your phones. There are bathrooms on every floor. They're to the right up here, male and female, on first, second, and third floor. Lunches will be provided. We were going to provide them initially here, but there just isn't enough seating, and you really don't want to be sitting in here all day. So they're going to be provided over at the Faculty Development Center, where we had the icebreaker last night. It's comfortable. It's nice over there. You've got a full 90 minutes. You exercise your legs, a nice little walk over there. And maybe you'll see some wildlife by Willow Lake and so on. We serve coffee regularly. It's outside. There's a nice little coffee area provided out here. If any of you need anything, go to the registration desk. Contact Cindy, who's like the Christine of Austria. Cindy does everything. She's been dynamite. Okay, there's one last very important item that I feel I have to remind everybody about, especially since there's a contingent here. And that's this. And I gotta acknowledge our Portuguese contingent with the winning of Euro 2016. Because when I was at WLC2, my first WLC in Portugal in 2004, the Portuguese were not very happy. And now in 2016, they are extremely happy. So congratulations to Portugal, and condolences to all the other countries that there was a lot of surprises and shocks. And so, anyway.